All right, everybody, welcome back to Bourbon Flights OKC. This is episode number 9. Eric is always with my co-host Jason, and today is another blind taste test, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
We were talking yesterday when we were hanging out watching the NBA finals, and we said we need to do semifinals. That's right. Well,
not even semifinals.
Playoffs.
First round. Playoffs. Yeah.
First round, yeah, to get to the semifinals. And we were like, we need to do another blind taste test because the one that we did with the Blantons and the Michters, Elijah Craig and Evan Williams was just so fun. So, and I just happened to pick up this bottle of Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond. So today, episode number 9 is entitled Bonded Bliss Blind Taste Testing for Bottled and Bond Bourbons. We have the Henry McKenna 10, which we had on the podcast last week.
Yep.
We have the Ben Holliday Bottled and Bond Soft Red Wheat, which we've had on previously.
Yep.
We have Benchmark Bonded, which we have not had on, and as I said, the Evan Williams Bottled and Bond 7-year, which we have not had on either. So 2 that have been on, 2 that haven't been.
Right.
But I don't know. I think it's going to be another eye-opening experience, just like the last time.
Yeah. Oh, I'm curious to see what'll be the big shocker this time.
I have a feeling I know what it is, but we'll get to that later. So we're just going to do kind of what we did in the same blind taste testing. We'll just run through a brief overview of the 4, and then we'll have Mike's not here today, so we'll have my wife Erin come up, blindly pour us bourbons. We'll go through, we'll try to rank, rate, talk about them, and then we'll pull the bottles out of the bags and see how wrong we were.
Right.
So,
how many people disagree with us?
Yes, exactly. So I'll just start from my right to left, which is your left to right. Henry McKenna 10, again, this was on the pod last week, and we both really enjoyed it,
Yes,
I thought.
it was good.
It's from Heaven Hill. It's 100 proof, as all of these will be, right, because they're all bottled and bond.
Yep.
10 years. As it says in its name, mash bill 78% corn, 12% malted barley, 10% rye. MSRP in 2017 was $30. I paid right around 60 for it.
Yeah.
Moving on to Ben Holliday, the soft red wheat, bottled and bond. It's a wheated bourbon. It comes from McCormick, which you're a huge fan of because you used to live
it's in
fairly close
western
to it,
Missouri.
right?
It's the oldest distillery west of the Mississippi.
I just saw somebody went in our shout out to the Oklahoma Bourbon Drinkers Facebook group. I just joined there. It's awesome to see what people are drinking. Some guy just went and he got the cave, the cave series or whatever it is. Really cool. Yeah,
we'll have to go.
The bottle is gorgeous. We'll have to go up there and check it out because we like their stuff. As we said, we have had this before.
Yeah.
Mash bill, in this review, it's undisclosed. It says it is to come, so maybe they have released that information. I'm not sure. Proof, again, is 100 because it's bottle and bond. 6 years, and as you said, it's in Western Missouri. MSRP is $49.99. Is that about what you paid for it?
I think I paid $63.
Okay, so you paid a little bit more. But as we've said in the past, it's worth it. Now moving on to the Benchmark Bonded. It is from Buffalo Trace in the Sazerac Company. Again, 100 proof. The release is ongoing. This is 4 years. The mash bill is undisclosed, and MSRP is $20, and I think that's about what you paid for it, right? Like 21.
$20, yeah, 21 to $23.
Yeah,
because I bought the whole series down in Texas, and that was the most expensive one out of the series was $23.
Yeah, nice. And then the last one is the Heaven Hill 7-year bottle and bond. It is from Heaven Hill, just like Henry McKenna 10 is. The release date was October of 2019, but I think they are still releasing it, clearly. The age is 7 years. The mash bill is 78% corn, 12% malted barley, 10% rye, and the price in 2019 was $40. I paid, I think, right around 50 for it.
Yep.
So, anything you want to talk about before we kind of dive into this, as far as do you want to give them kind of an overview again about what bottled and bond is, or?
We can if you'd like.
Yeah.
So bottled and bond is it is bottled at a single distillery, and it is kept there and under a government bonded warehouse. Has to be a minimum of 4 years, and the only thing they're allowed to add is water, and they has to be at 100 proof.
Correct.
Now, if they do have to disclose on the label where it was distilled, and if it was bottled in a separate location, that has to be disclosed as well, from what I understand.
Yeah. So and it's the same distiller in the same bottle. Yeah. So
and this has been around for 100 years. It was the government's way of guaranteeing that people were getting quality, a real bourbon, when back during, I guess, around the time of Prohibition, people were putting all kinds of garbage in there and making people sick.
And basically trying to pass off just regular American whiskey as bourbon, which, as we know and we've talked about, bourbon is a very set level of like parameters and things you can and can't do to it. So yeah, great. Off the cuff too. I mean, what a good description. Yeah, that was a great description. Yeah, I mean, you hit all the big things. I just think it's cool that there's literally some government person's job that guards a warehouse full of bourbon. I mean, that's kind of a cool job. They probably can't drink any, but all right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a break. We're going to get my wife up here. She is going to pour blindly these into the various Glencairns we have here, then put them in brown paper bags with, we're switching away from numbers because it was very confusing last time.
Yes.
So we're going to letters. So there'll be A, B, C, and D. We'll come back. We'll drink them. We'll drink them neat, drink them on ice, try to figure out what they are. We'll rate them. We'll talk about them. And then we'll unveil them and, again, show everybody how terribly wrong we were about it. So stay tuned. Sorry. Go ahead.
I wanted to add one thing. I heard the guys down in Texas say something on their podcast. They said the best bourbon is the one you like. And I would agree with that, because tastes can vary so much. So I don't think there is such thing as an actual, this is the best.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I mean, it's pretty personal.
And I mean, our viewers have seen it on the podcast, or our listeners, viewers, depending on where you watch or listen. Like you and I would say you and I agree about 75% of the time.
Right.
But then there's stuff that we are like super far apart on.
Yes. Like the barrel rye the other day, I thought was wonderful, and you just could not stand it.
I don't really like any of Barrel's stuff.
Oh yeah.
I've had their normal bourbon. I think we had it with Nick again, and it wasn't as bad as their rye is. Their rye is
I might have to break out. I have a barrel pick that was Poor Man's Pour Club picked it at a whiskey cabinet.
Oh, okay.
It's a $99 bottle, but I think we might have to break it out because I've heard it's really good. I haven't had it myself, so maybe this will be
to give it a try.
Give it a shot.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I totally agree with that. And again, if you watch or listen, that these are our opinions that we're putting out there, and everybody's gonna like different stuff, right? So there's no right answer with bourbon. That's what's so cool about this hobby, is we get to taste and explore and discuss with other like-minded individuals or unlike-minded individuals that have a completely different palate. Like we watch that Bruzel guy all the time. He does not like
Amberana.
And he doesn't like things finished in like ryes finished in like wine cask, like the sherry cask, which as you know, the Basil Hayden, the rye that's done with port is one of my favorites. Yeah. So again, it's just a cool hobby where we can agree to disagree on things and try new stuff. And there's a limitless supply of things to try, basically. Right. So,
and I think about once a month, we seem to get surprised by something new that we try on how good it was.
Yep. Absolutely.
And then there's a few that you're like, whew, I can't believe people drink that.
Yeah, I won't be buying that again. All right, so we are going to take a break. We're going to get these poured up, and we will be right back with you. All right, welcome back to Bourbon Flights OKC. We have successfully, I shouldn't say we, my wife has successfully put all 4 bourbons in these Glencairns. And as soon as we walked up here, we left the room, we went downstairs. My wife Erin said that she was done. We came back upstairs. The biggest thing that I noticed is they all look exactly the same.
The color, yeah.
I mean, I can't tell. I don't see any that are even a little lighter, a little darker. No.
It's pretty consistent all the way across.
Very, very consistent. So, all right. I guess we'll start with A.
All right.
Okay. Very little, if I don't even know if there's any heat at all, really.
Yeah, that's really a mild smell. There's not a whole lot of smell. Yeah, there's not a lot of heat on that.
No, very smooth. Cinnamon.
Yeah.
Get some cinnamon.
I thought it would be a little stronger. That one's kind of light, I would say, for 100 proof. Drinks more like an 80 or 90.
Yeah, it's not hot at all.
Not at all.
Good spices, cinnamon. Yeah, I need to be writing this down.
Yeah.
Good spice, cinnamon, not hot. I don't really know what else. I mean, I could say there's oak and
vanilla,
vanilla, and a bunch of other stuff in there, but remember, don't drink it all because we got to put ice in it.
I know, right? But it's almost like a little bit of a light leather taste, not like some of that heavier, darker leather.
I would agree with you on that.
It's just everything seems all the flavors seem muted. You can taste them there, but they don't really come
Yeah, there's
out
not
real
like
strong.
a burst. The only thing that I would say, like what I'm getting the most of, is kind of that like spice that's in it.
Yeah.
All right. So that was, I like when people say that was number A. No, that was letter A.
Yeah.
On to B.
Same thing. I
Same
don't
thing,
smell
very
any heat.
muted.
I do get a little bit of sweet. Almost like
Sweet spice.
like grapes, sweet grapes.
Maybe some cherry.
Yeah. That's
Red fruit, as we've
red
learned.
fruits. Yeah.
What the
That's,
hell is red fruit?
Definitely more flavor in this one. Definitely get more oak in that on the finish too.
Yeah.
Hmm.
God, this is so hard not knowing anything about what it is. Spice.
Yeah.
Vanilla oak. Yeah, definitely oakier than A,
Yep.
I would say.
It smells sweeter than it tastes.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting like some cherry or grapes or whatever it is. Sorry. There's going to be pauses because we're trying to formulate our thoughts.
It's not dry, but it's not oily either. That's pretty good. That the spice that definitely sticks on your tongue at the end there.
And a little heat in the finish, I would say.
Yeah.
Little heat in the finish, not terrible.
No.
Not
it's more flavor, but not as smooth as the first one.
Yeah.
But I think I would rather have the flavor myself personally. But
yeah. All right, moving on to letter C. I feel like I had an elementary school teacher all the time that like we had a textbook or something, and it was instead of numbered, it was lettered, and she's like, "All right, moving on to number D," and it's like, no, that's not numbers. Those are letters. It's like you're the one that's teaching.
Yeah, right.
It's frightening. Ooh. I like the smell of this one a lot.
I know what this one is.
Yeah, there is going to be one in here that's obvious, right?
Right.
Yeah. Should we just say it, or do you want to wait?
What do you think it is?
The Ben Holliday.
Yeah,
because it's a wheated bourbon.
Yeah,
right?
it's very distinct taste, and it's spicy. There's not a lot of heat on it, but it's definitely spicy. And
that wheat and that spice is so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's definitely the Ben Holliday.
If you haven't,
we should just end this podcast now.
If you haven't tried it, definitely check it out. They have the bottled and bond soft red wheat, and they have a Rickhouse strength, and then they have their regular bourbon as well. That's the only three I've seen here in Oklahoma City, and I know that Whiskey Cabinet carries those, as does the Wine and Spirits Emporium on Memorial.
Yeah, and I think I've seen it at Bacchus as well.
Have you? Okay.
I think so. I'd also add to that one, like, I think the mouthfeel is very caramely. Like, I know we always talk about caramel, but like the mouthfeel of that is like you get that nice caramelized mouthfeel. All right. last but certainly not least, D, and then we'll put ice in all of these because that's going to open it up as well, and maybe that'll give us a clue. This is a bit more alcohol-y on the nose, like.
I know which one this one is too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what it is just by smelling it.
Yeah, this is a good drink.
The Benchmark?
No, you think that's Benchmark?
I don't know.
I think it's the Henry McKenna. Or maybe it's the Heaven Hill. No, maybe it's the Heaven Hill.
No, yeah,
Man.
it's not the Benchmark.
I think
I thought because of the smell being a little bit more like.
Yeah, you can smell a little more ethanol.
Yeah.
That is good. A little more heat on it on the front end.
I don't get it. I don't get a lot of heat.
See, maybe it's from
On the back end. I do. The back end.
I get it right in the middle of my tongue, and it sticks. Maybe maybe it's the spice. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe you're right. Maybe that is.
It's nice and spicy. Back end heat. Man, this is tough. Other than C, A, B, and D, I'm not entirely sure. So, you have ideas over there? I see the gears turning.
I'm pretty sure C is the Ben Holliday.
Mm-hmm,
the B, that's the A for me. I feel I want to say it's Benchmark. Because, I mean, it's got good flavor, but it's not a real strong flavor. It doesn't come out as much as B.
But what's funny to me is, like, I put A over B. So that means that a $20 bottle is beating out a
maybe
50+ bottle. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Who knows?
Allegedly.
Supposedly. It's an inside joke, which I won't get into now. But
yes, I'd like to survive the weekend.
That's right. All right. I think it's time to ice, right?
I agree.
I want to make hoodies that say it's time to ice with like our logo on it and stuff because I feel like that's a common slogan that we always have. But all right, we're going to just stop real quick. We'll put ice in these. We'll be literally right back, and we'll try all of these on ice, and then we'll
give you our rankings.
Yes, and try to figure out what these are.
Yep.
We'll be right back. All right, everybody, welcome back. We've successfully put ice into the 4 Glencairns containing the unknown liquids. Well, I guess we know they're bourbon, but other than that, we don't know what they are. Off camera, we kind of probably shouldn't have, but we kind of shared our thoughts.
Yeah.
What we're going to keep secret from you because we want this to be a little bit more intriguing than that. But
we don't want to reveal how bad we are at this.
Correct. But I mean, the one thing we're agreeing on here is that letter C is Ben Holliday because while it is bottled in bond, it's a wheated bourbon, and you get that wheat right away. Not necessarily in the nose. I didn't get it. It's when you taste it. You're like, okay, here's the wheat. So, but I think we're still trying to figure out exactly what's what here. So let's just go back to A.
All right.
Which neat. This is one of my. Out of the 4, this is one of my top neat. So we'll see how it is on the ice.
Definitely get more of that leather.
Yep, leathery, cinnamon, spice.
Not as much of a vanilla taste. A little bit.
Maybe like a little, like toast. Maybe I don't want to say toasted marshmallow because it's not that sweet, but. Like and not toasted bread, but there's something a little toasty in there for me. I wish my palate was more refined because this would make this a lot easier.
It's good.
It's really good.
I don't know.
I think I like this better on ice than I do neat, but I rated it pretty high neat as well.
Yeah, I like it better neat. I think, and I'm usually the one that likes stuff with the ice.
Again, as we talked about in the beginning, we have some different opinions on things, which is again totally fine. I'm just gonna put toasty because I don't really know how to describe it. Are you on? You
Yeah,
already moved
I haven't.
on.
Well,
You've already moved on to B.
I haven't done anything with it though. I'm just holding it.
Just looking at it. Nose doesn't really change.
That's definitely sweeter. That is good. With a little bit of the leather finish again, but that front end is sweet.
Yeah, very sweet front end. I'm trying. There's
It's
something,
not
there's something else
that
there.
took the spicy out of it.
Mm-hmm.
That is good.
God, there's something else in there, and I can't put my finger on it because my palate's not that good.
It's always kind of hard trying to pin down something it tastes like when you're just getting hints of that flavor.
Yeah, it's way easier when like you're like, oh, I think this kind of tastes like toasty, and they're like, oh, toasted marshmallow. When when you read the reviews or whatever. So, yeah, very interesting. I like that better on ice than I do neat. Whatever that is. Really cool. Again, we already know what this one is, but we'll drink it anyway because why not?
Because it's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
A lot of cinnamon for me. A lot of cinnamon there. Like right after, like kind of on the back end of the palate, like as you swallow, I get a ton of cinnamon. Which, this one, like we've talked about in the past, how I kind of don't like some cinnamon ones because it kind of dries my mouth out. This does not do that.
No. It's more of this one's a little more of an oily finish too.
Yeah.
On the mouth.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't dry you out and it sticks around a little bit. That's good though. God, that's just.
It's a nice bottle.
Yeah, if you haven't had Ben Holliday, you definitely got to give it a try.
Yep. Yeah, you're.
All right.
I want to go up there and do that bonded
tour.
the bonded cave or whatever it is they've got up there. It just looks like a cool place to go hang out at and drink.
Yeah, it's a pretty neat little town. It was bigger than Kansas City originally until the river.
Really?
Yeah, until the river shifted, and then it kind of got forgotten.
Huh. So this is D on the ice. I'm not getting a ton. Just kind of it's very oaky. Your caramel, your vanilla.
Yeah.
Not a ton of spice. I feel like it toned down.
It took all
toned
that
down
spice
that
out.
spice and that heat off.
Yeah, because that was the spiciest one.
Oh God, I'll have to try to figure out what all these are.
It's earthier. It's an earthier taste. It's good though. I have it all figured out.
I don't agree.
My wife would agree with you on that.
That's all right. I have what I think it is. Oh no, that's wrong. Okay. Do you want to reveal your findings?
Not yet. I've got to think about this for a moment here.
Okay.
Give me a second.
That's
if you wanna
fine.
talk.
No, yeah, that's totally fine. I mean, I think what's interesting to me is they're all like this is. Although I was gonna say this is way easier than the one that we previously did, but maybe it's not.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm having a hard time figuring out what they are. I mean, you know what? I think this is easier because we came up with one right off the bat.
Yeah.
Being the Ben Holliday, just because it's a wheated bourbon, so it makes it pretty obvious when you drink it.
Well, and we thought we would have one that was obvious last time, and we didn't. So
No.
does that mean we're getting better at this? Or is it just Ben Holliday
I
is
think-
so different from everybody else
Yeah,
that
I
it's
think,
so
I think
good?
we gave ourselves a cheater almost because none of the, we probably should have done another wheated bourbon in here.
Yeah.
To be fair,
Is there another good one though? I don't know yet. We
I mean,
haven't found
Weller,
that.
but it's not bottled and bond.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's another good wheated bottle and bond. I'm not sure. Not that I've had.
Yeah, we'll have to
I mean,
check it out.
Yeah, we'll have
look
to
into that.
check
If you
it out.
know one, comment below.
Yeah, please, yeah. Also, like and subscribe. We always forget to say that. Like and subscribe to the podcast, the videos. It means so much to us. We're definitely getting some followings and followers and subscribers, and
Definitely like the feedback. We get suggestions for some really good
we're not
bottles.
doing this to try to become famous. We're just doing this because it's like we're gonna do this stuff anyway. Why not film it and put it on the internet?
Right.
Well,
and people we've talked to, they're, we're just getting into bourbons, and then we've talked to people that have been into bourbons for a long time, and they kind of, well, if you like this, try this.
Yeah, like we still got to crack that single Four Roses single barrel over there.
Yeah.
I think we've had that at your house, but it's been a while.
Yeah,
it's been a while. Anyway, that was a tangent. So do you want to reveal your findings now?
Do you want to guess first, or let's reveal our rankings first?
I'm going to reveal the rankings first, and then
Okay.
I'm going to guess what they are.
Okay. Are we going to do neat? And,
Yes.
Because mine are
so
different.
we'll go A. So I'll start.
Okay.
Okay. So A, whatever it was 8 neat and 7.5 ice.
Oh, okay. You did it different than I did. I ranked them 1 through 4. We probably should have talked about this.
Probably. Okay. I'm ranking them out of 10.
Okay. I thought we were ranking them against each other. Fine. Okay, that's fine. So, A, I would say I would give that a probably 7.5 to 7.8.
Neat or ice? Or
on
both?
neat.
Okay.
On ice, I would say probably 7.
Okay.
I liked it less.
Okay. I liked it a little bit more than you did. All right, let's go to B. I was 7.5 neat, 8 ice.
Okay. And for me, I would say that was probably I liked it. So I'm going to give it an 8.2 neat.
Whoa, hold on. He's doing
I'm
decimals. He's going decimals.
I'm doing what you
trying
do to me. I'm doing what you do to me.
I'm trying to be subjective and to be like 7.5, 8.
Okay, let's do halves. Okay, so
no, it's fine. No, you do your decimal points. It's fine. Let's do it. Okay, you got 8.2. I like it.
Okay. And again, on ice, I would say same. I liked it both ways.
Oh God,
this is gonna come back and bite me. Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry. C, I'm like an 8 neat and like an 8.2 ice. I think it's a little bit better on the ice because I think it opens up that weediness and like there's a little bit more going on the ice as opposed to neat. It's just there's a lot of wheat in there.
I would just flip that for me.
Really, you like it neat better?
I like it neat better.
Oh, okay.
Well, actually, I have it ranked the same when I did my ranking, but
Okay.
I do like it neat. Well, I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe I should try that again because Ben Holliday is just so good.
Ben Holliday is awesome. Again, I just want to go like hang out in the caves and drink bourbon.
Yeah,
with you.
I've got some friends up there in Kansas City who come join us.
We got to go up and do a big Kansas City weekend because like we need to go to Le Fou Frog. We need to go to the Italian place that I found, dude. It's mobsters for sure, dude. Like you look at
cigar box,
the pictures all over the walls. It's a giant mob family, and the Italian food is so
My old office in Kansas City was right across the street from the oldest Italian restaurant in Kansas City, and somebody bought it, and they were going to demolish it to put in a parking garage, and the detectives and some federal agents actually showed up when they were pulling the walls in. Because there was rumors that there was money in safes, there's bodies in the walls, and they found none of that. Yeah, of course.
Wow,
but
that's crazy. We got to go do a whole long. We should do like a long weekend up in Kansas City and go to Ben Holliday, go eat food up there. Kansas City it's really, I've been there for work. It's a really cool place. And that's like, I think people sleep on like Midwest cities. Yeah. Like Omaha is one of my favorite overnights. Oh yeah. So we went to Omaha. Good Lord. We went to Omaha and we had an overnight. And I'm like, I've never been here. We found, if you're in Omaha, Peregrine, it's a curio collection by Hilton, gorgeous hotel. And we're pilots. So like we're trying to find stuff to do. Well, there's a rooftop bar. All of the drinks in the rooftop bar are aviation themed. Oh, nice. And I was like, could I have found a better hotel? Right. But I mean, we went to awesome restaurants out there. So don't sleep on Midwest cities. Don't sleep on Midwest bourbons because Ben Holliday is awesome. Oklahoma's doing some cool things. It doesn't just have to be Kentucky for everybody. Right. There's a lot of cool stuff going on. I mean, look at Redwood Empire. They're out there in California on an old apple orchard. Yeah. That's one that we need to do. Yeah. Is the Redwood Empire. I need to just order that trio again and we can review them. But anyway, this was a big tangent. So let's move on to D.
Right.
This is the my mother and me is just going off on tangents. So D, what did you rate it neat, and what did you rate it on ice?
So neat, I'm gonna say probably a 7, maybe a 6.5, 7, because it was pretty hot and spicy. Neat on ice, I liked it a lot better.
Yeah,
I'm doubting myself.
I'm a 7 neat. I'm like a 7 ice.
Yeah, it's good on ice. I liked a little better. Maybe
for sure.
It's sweeter. The oak comes out a little more, but it's not overbearing. But
It's
it takes all the.
It's a good drink, and for what I think it is, I think it's a good drink for the price.
Okay, I think it's the opposite of what you think.
Okay,
all right.
So,
what do you think A is? Oh, you want to go? Well, go ahead and do your spiel first.
No. What I want to do? Yeah, my guess. No, what I want to do is reveal what we think it is, then pull the bottles. But we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna hear from our sponsor real quick, and we will be right back. I'd like to shout out our sponsor, Bark Brew Coffee, where every sip supports a shelter dog in need. Ethically sourced and craft roasted, our coffee brings a new level of depth to your morning routine. For the bourbon enthusiasts out there, our blends are the perfect companion to your favorite spirit. Exclusively for listeners of this podcast, enjoy 10% off your order with code BARK10 at checkout. Elevate your coffee experience with Bark Brew Coffee. Cheers to great mornings and even better causes. All right, welcome back. It's reveal time. We're going to go through and try to figure out, guess what it is. We're going to reveal it bottle by bottle. So what did you think A was?
Benchmark.
I had it as McKenna. McKenna 10. You want to pull it?
Yeah.
You can pull it. You're probably right.
I think I'm right.
You are right.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Okay.
Look at that.
Yeah. Interesting.
The reason I said A was there was good flavors, but they weren't as strong as all of the others, but they were still good. They was just a little more muted.
Yeah, but what was interesting to me is it wasn't hot at all.
No, it was
and
good.
And it's like for a $20 bottle, I was like, okay, like that's why I thought. So I'll get in. I thought Benchmark was D.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it was hot. There was it was a back end heat. I only rated it like I forget what I said. It was like a 7 and a 7.7. I think it was a 7 neat and a 7.7 ice. That's interesting, man. That is such a good dude. Don't sleep on the Benchmark stuff. I mean, it's tough because we can't get it in Oklahoma.
You can't get it here, but you can get it in Texas.
You can get it. Yeah. If you're down in Texas for the weekend, like just. You can spend $100 and you can get like 5 bottles.
Yeah,
they're all like most of them are $20.
Yeah, you can get the Benchmark Old Number 8 here, although it's getting some places have quit carrying it because it rumors it may go to allocation. But I do know Whiskey Cabinet tries to keep it in, and so does Bacchus and Four Leaf, and a couple of places keep it in. But there's definitely there's 5 others: the Bottle and Bond, the Rick House, the they have what is it, Barrel Select or so. They had anyway.
Top floor, like
top
they've
floor.
got a ton of stuff.
And they're all really good.
They're all Buffalo Trace products.
Yeah, exactly. This is the same mash bill as Buffalo Trace, which is also the same as the Eagle Rare, I believe. Yeah. Mash bill number 1.
Wow, that's surprising.
But definitely worth going down to Texas, cross the border, get you a bottle of each, and check them out. Especially because they range from $16 to $23. I think was the most expensive bottle out of the series.
Now I want to switch B up, but I don't think it would be appropriate to.
Are you doubting yourself?
I am.
Okay.
What did you think B was?
So I thought B was Heaven Hill.
I also think B is Heaven Hill.
All right, let's find out.
Let's find out. I love doing this. This is I love blind tasting stuff. Were we right?
No.
Well, it's a Heaven Hill product.
It is.
But it was the McKenna.
That's
okay.
Okay. Fair enough.
Okay.
That
was a good a good one.
Yeah, that's a good drink.
Yeah, that's a good drink. I mean, we both rated it pretty high. I think that's the one we rated the highest next to maybe Ben Holliday.
Oh, here, I'll put these up
according to the number. No, the letter. Number A.
This is number A. This is letter 1.
All right. So all right. See, we already know what it is. Yeah. It's not going to be a surprise.
Watch us both be wrong, and then we got to quit. No, I can tell by when I grab the cap.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ben Holliday, of course.
We crushed that bottle today. Yeah.
Might have to go in the infinity bottle.
Oh yeah. Oh god. That's a sneak preview to what's going to come next. All right.
So obviously,
D is the Heaven Hill, which I think that's my least favorite out of the 4.
that was mine as well.
Interesting.
Because I liked it last night. It's good. Don't get me wrong. It's a good drink, but
Yeah.
I'm shocked that the benchmark
Went as high as it did.
it was in my top 2
Yeah.
both times,
Yes.
neat and
Yep.
on ice.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, so for me, it was the Ben Holliday, then it was Benchmark, then it was McKenna, then it was Heaven Hill, which is crazy. Like, because Henry McKenna 10 is allocated.
Yeah.
It's crazy that an allocated bourbon went as my 3rd favorite out of the 4. But that's kind of what Blanton's did when we did the other taste test. Is Blanton's went 3rd, right?
Yeah,
We had the Michter's first, and we had the Elijah Craig small batch second. Then the then the Blanton's, and then the cheap bottle of Evan Williams. But it was close.
Yeah, it was because
Yeah.
I actually had the Evan Williams 1783 ranked higher than the Blantons, either neat or on ice. I can't remember which.
Yeah,
But
I love doing these blind taste tests, man.
It's shocking.
They're so fun. They're so interesting. I mean, it's just crazy that you can have a bottle of, a $20 bottle of bourbon that just goes right up with not that Henry McKenna's expensive. It's $60.
Yeah.
But it is allocated.
yeah,
It's tough to find. Yeah, it's
I think
really eye-opening stuff.
it would be interesting for some of the people we talk to with large bourbon collections, just putting that benchmark in a decanter and taking it in and seeing what they say about it without knowing that it's a $20 bottle.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, craziness.
Good stuff.
Yeah, this is super eye-opening. I mean, honestly, they're all good. Like, there was nothing here that I didn't like. I'm surprised Heaven Hill was our least favorite.
Yeah, because it's a good drink.
It's a good drink. But again, it's like $60. You can buy 3 bottles of the Benchmark bonded for the same price as the Heaven Hill. Ben Holliday, always a solid drink. McKenna 10, I love McKenna 10. It's hard to find, so I'm glad I have a bottle of it. And like, as you can see, it's other than the Heaven Hill, which I literally bought yesterday. I'm not trying to drink that. I want to save it because I think it's a cool bottle. The fact that it's bottled in bond, but it's also 10-year is interesting. But that's the same thing as like the Ben Holliday is. I don't know, and you could know many of them, but I don't know a lot of weeded bourbons that are also bottled in bond.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really, really cool, unique bottle. I love what Ben Holliday is doing. Again, I've said it like 4 times, but I want to go up there and check it out.
Yeah.
And then like Heaven Hill, who makes the McKenna 10, I don't think that's a bad drink. I mean, I think it was our least favorite out of the 4. But I would pay $60 for that bottle all day long. I think it's
I agree.
a good drink.
I agree. And so how much would you pay for the benchmark?
50, maybe more, maybe 60.
Yeah.
If it went allocated. McKenna.
I don't know. That's pretty good. Probably, 65, 70 seems pretty fair.
Yeah, and it's about $60 right now.
Yeah.
I think MSRP is more like 45 or 50, but again, it's allocated.
I'm
so
just
it's
glad Ben Holliday's not allocated.
Yeah, dude, do not sleep on those folks. What if it went allocated? What would you pay for it?
I'd probably pay $75.
Yeah, I'd even honestly
maybe 80.
So for this bottle so for this bottle,
yeah,
I would probably pay like $65-$70. The Rick House though, I'd probably pay $100 for.
Yeah,
the Rick House one is awesome.
Yeah, Clint likes that one as well.
Really, the Rick House one. I think they're doing barrel picks of it now. Ben Holliday, for not being a Kentucky. The stuff they're doing up there, man, is awesome.
Well,
those guys are on point.
The fact that McCormick just leaves them alone and lets them do their thing, it just shows that they know what they're doing up there. Oh. They've been doing this for a long time, and they've got they do it well. I think
the big thing is the caves, man.
Yeah, that's a neat draw.
Yeah, but I mean, you look at wine, right? And you have the wine caves in Napa Valley, Sonoma, all those places. like that makes a big difference because you're at cooler temperatures, higher humidity,
Right.
And that does such a wonder to a lot of these wines. And that's basically the same thing that they're doing in Kansas, but it's with bourbon and not.
It's Missouri side, but
it's the Missouri side. Okay.
So what's neat, a lot of people don't realize, is south of Kansas City, the National Archives and Records Administration that's where they store all their documents in those limestone caves because they soak up the moisture. But not only that, the U.S. Post Office, when you used to have the lick stamps, they used to store them in there because they wouldn't activate with the humidity because there's no humidity in it.
Interesting.
But what's crazy is there's an entire like almost underground city underneath there. You can go play paintball under there in those caves.
Wow.
And there's somebody that grows like orchids or roses in there.
We got to do a weekend up there, man. We got to do a long weekend up there. I think Kansas City is a pretty underrated place.
The food's amazing. My wife and I lived there for 15 years. We loved it. I mean, Oklahoma's home for us, for both of us. We're both here. I'm from Edmond. My wife's from Ponca. We almost moved back. We missed it so much. A lot of good people up there.
But
a lot
since
of good
you've
food.
been here, though,
this is home.
Yeah, but this isn't home for me. But like listening to people and talking to people that live. We've only lived here for 3 years, but listening to people that have been here for 10, 15 years, like the way this place has grown. And when you look at the next 5 years of how it's going to grow, I mean, we might have the tallest building in the United States in downtown Oklahoma City.
Still haven't figured out how they're going to fill that.
I know
part
either,
of it's going to be residential.
There's going to be shopping centers. There's going to be a mall. There's going to be hotels, restaurants. Like, I do think we have a lot of people moving here because I think this is a super, like I said before, super underrated Midwest, Southern, whatever you want to call it, city. And like we love it here. People are like, oh, when are you going to move back to Connecticut, which is where I'm from. My wife's from Pennsylvania, but we lived in Connecticut for 5 years. Oh, when are you going to move back? I'm like, probably never. I mean, it's expensive. You pay a lot for a little, basically, in Connecticut. You get a good bang for the buck here, and it's more expensive now than it was 3 years ago when we moved here.
Right.
And it's a lot more expensive than, when you were a kid. But you can't sleep on these, these Midwest, Southern, I guess you'd call Oklahoma City towns.
Yeah. They're doing a good job trying to draw in more technology companies and things like that, with Canoe now coming in as a EV company.
Yep. And we're going to do an Oklahoma bourbon episode. We will. We're just trying to figure out the right ones to bring on, because there are good ones. There are some that we've had that are not great. But we're trying to figure out the right ones to do.
Well, and we've got one here that's...
We will do an Oklahoma episode, because we
definitely would
like
ourselves, right. Right.
So the last one I'll talk about is Heaven Hill. A little disappointed, I think, and we disclosure, we did try this last night, just a little bit of it. It's good. I don't know if I'd buy it again.
Really? I would.
You would?
Yeah.
You'd buy the Heaven Hill bottle and bond again?
Yeah. And
I think Heaven Hill, but
if it was...
here's my point. I think there's so much better Heaven Hill products, like the McKenna 10. I get it's allocated, but I mean, we've had a lot of Heaven Hill stuff on here.
Yeah.
Right? Like a lot. Isn't Elijah Craig Heaven Hill?
I think you're right. Is it Elijah Craig?
I'm pretty sure it is. And like the Elijah Craig small batch, bro. Like that's one of my favorites.
Well, and I heard a rumor that Heaven Hill was going to be downsizing. And so I hope that's not true, because I mean, they're making some good stuff. And I was reading something that was talking about this downturn in bourbon sales, and I'm thinking to myself, what state is this happening in? And if you're a distillery and you're seeing a downturn in sales, you need to start shipping more product to Oklahoma, because people are fighting here to get good stuff.
Elijah Craig small batch, which is, I have it up there.
Yeah.
We love it.
Yeah.
It was in the last blind taste testing. It is Heaven Hill.
Yeah.
Heaven Hill's got it going on, man.
Yeah. And is Heaven Hill, is that a Jim Beam? Are they associated with Jim Beam? They're separate.
They are their own.
Okay.
They are their own thing.
Okay.
Jim Beam is like the Jim Beam products. Basil Hayden is Jim Beam.
That's
Legion is Jim Beam. Those are like the three that I can pull off the top of my head. But
Booker's.
Is Booker's Jim Beam
I
too?
believe Booker's is a Jim Beam. Watch me be wrong.
I don't know. I'm going to look it up right now.
Tell me how wrong I am in the comments below.
Is Booker's Jim Beam? Thank God for the internet. It sure is. Booker's is Jim Beam.
Score one for me.
Score one. It's what's interesting. So this says Booker's Bourbon is one of the small batch bourbons produced by the Jim Beam Distillery, which is owned by Beam Suntory, a subsidiary of Suntory Holdings in Osaka, Japan. And I know it's not bourbon. I want to do a Japanese whiskey episode.
I would do that.
Habiki is so good.
I just don't like when
there's
they get,
other greats out there.
Yeah. I just don't like when they're peaty.
But what's cool though is, and I'm not going to remember his name. You guys watching this will probably know. There's a master distiller. No, he's a master blender out there. He's a Japanese guy. He blends a lot of these blended bourbons.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like super, super sought after. Like I think he blended Legent.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure. But yeah, to do like some cool blended whiskeys or like do a big Japanese episode. I love Hibiki. I think it's delicious. But yeah, I it's not bourbon is like the problem for me.
Well, that's okay. It's still a whiskey.
It is a whiskey. But anyway, any final thoughts on what we've done here today? I think the big surprise was Benchmark being as
highly ranked as it was.
Yeah.
I feel justified because people look at me like I'm crazy when I talk about Benchmark. No. Not you. I'm not saying you, but other people, and they're like, I'm even surprised when I talk to some of the smaller liquor store owners, and they are even aware that there's other benchmarks.
Yeah.
They all just know the old number 8.
Yeah.
And maybe we should do all of the benchmarks as a series.
Yeah, I think people that are surprised by that don't really understand bourbon. I mean, our good friend Justin, you went over, you said, hey, what's a great bottle under 50? He's like, I bought this $7 bottle of whiskey, and it's really good.
Yeah.
Right? It's not the price. The price for me in bourbon means nothing.
Right.
Right? Like you can spend $300, $500, $1,000, and you can get an awesome bottle. You can spend the same amount and be like, wow, I could put a $20 bottle up against this.
What? Look at Alex.
And you can buy a $20 bottle and it's great. You can buy a $20 bottle and it sucks.
Right. And the crazy thing is a lot of these allocated whiskeys started as low end, on the shelf whiskeys that people found out were good. Like, I mean, Eagle Rare, people pay $200 for that. I got it for $37 because that's close to MSRP,
Yeah.
And so that's the rumor has it is the Benchmark is going to go allocated. Why? Because it's a good bourbon.
It's Buffalo Trace product too, right?
I mean, everything they crank out is good. I have yet to have a Buffalo Trace product I didn't like. I think some are overrated, but it's not that they're not good.
Okay. I'll give you that.
Like Blanton's, it's a little overrated, but it's still good.
No, the Buffalo Trace barrel pick that we had from someone that will remain nameless, was not good.
Yeah, it was not.
It was not good. Right. But I don't think it was bad. It just wasn't as good as normal Buffalo Trace.
Yeah, and my neighbor's a big Buffalo Trace guy, and I had a modern liquor one, and unfortunately we won't get to try that because he was upset I didn't buy him a bottle. So he's always taking care of us when he's brought over stuff. So I gave him my bottle of that.
He brought that JJ Juke, that blue, the blue JJ Juke or whatever.
The blue note.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
Yeah,
I'd like to have it on the pod. But anyway, any last words? Final thoughts?
Don't prejudge your bourbon by the price.
Well, we've got one thing to say. Got to thunder up, baby.
That's right.
Thunder Mavs Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. This will air, unfortunately, after that, but we're excited for it.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for joining us on this bourbon journey through OKC. Remember, there's a world of bourbon out there waiting to be explored, one sip at a time. Until next time, keep your glasses full and your spirits high. Cheers and thunder up.